Funke, in Nigeria, the issues that have been raised are very similar to Kenyan issues. For example, corruption. That is a problem, not only in Nigeria, also in Kenya and other places, but also the question of politicians living large, flamboyantly, showing off their wealth. And for generations, nobody questioned where they got the money from. Can the youth, or can the current protests we are seeing across Africa really change the culture where politics or political positions or government is the easiest way to become a billionaire overnight without anybody questioning?
Thank you so much. I think that one of the things that the protests across Africa, or the demonstration, has shown is that more young people are becoming politically aware. We are coming from a point where, or we're coming from a time where young people were not particularly interested in what was happening in politics. And in the past couple of years, and then as we can see from this year, the protests from this year, young people are becoming more aware, more interested in what is happening politically, and it is creating a form of tension in the part of the government. I want to believe that the way in which most of our governments have been responding to threats of protest or the actual protests shows that they are actually apprehensive. I will give the example of Nigeria, for instance. The protest this year started August 1st. 2 weeks before the protest, the government did everything within its power to ensure that the protest did not hold. From propaganda, going to court to get rulings, ex parte motions that would restrict protesters to a particular place, to even introducing counter-protesters days before the protest to stop the protest. I believe, and many people back home believe, that the government is apprehensive because they understand the power of the people. And for us in Nigeria, by the 4th and by the 5th day of the protest, we already had the government coming, and the president coming to address protesters. Even though we believe that, the words from the president were not sufficient to address some of the issues, for us, it is a step in the right direction, that the government is coming to understand that people would not continue to stay docile and do nothing, but will continue to speak up, will begin to speak up and say no to bad governance. So I think to a very large extent, even though we haven't necessarily begun to see the fruits in terms of the government in power actually reducing their cost of living or the cost of governance generally, to a very large extent, it's beginning to create a form of political awareness among the citizenry, and especially among the young people, and it's creating a kind of fear and apprehension in the government. And we do not expect in the coming days to see as much as the show or the display of wealth or sensation.